First and foremost, as always, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachah HaKwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salute to the 144,000. All right, the 1/3, the elect of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, pushing his word, remaining faithful. All right, patiently waiting upon Yahweh Shai's arrival. All right, so as you see, this is from Brighteon.com, and this is an interview with Mike Adams and Steve Quayle, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this is a real good interview that's being conducted. And there was something that this guy here, Steve Quayle, if I'm pronouncing that right, something he said that came, scriptures came to mind when he said it. And, he's going to get into talking about pretty much what the elite is trying to do with blocking out the sun. All right. The reason why chemtrails is being sprayed and things of that nature, this is all things that brothers have been knowing. But for, this guy to say that, it brought scriptures to mind. All right. But that's the world that we live in, where the energy, that we get from the sun, because the sun is pretty much a source of energy. And if Esau is able to blot that out, all right, then that's gonna affect the quality of life that humans have here on Earth. Okay. Salaki, let me see. Let me try to grab this preset. So like, hold on, let me see. All right, if Esau is successful with that, then people's quality, your quality of life is going to be greatly affected here on the earth. All right, because you'll be consuming foods that have no nutrition. All right, no nutritional value, and that pretty much is going to cause the human body to break down. All right, so real quick, let me grab this real quick. This is Jeremiah 31. Let's go to this, and I'll start at 35. Jeremiah 31 and 35. It reads, "Thus saith Yahweh, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. Yahweh of hosts is his name." Okay, so the sun is created to be a light by day. All right. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith Yahweh, then the seed of Israel shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Okay, so Esau would love to have to be able to destroy the sun. Because if he was able to destroy the sun, then he would be able to get his birthright back. All right, by default, because as the scripture reads, that the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. So if Esau was able to, go into the heavens and destroy, constellations, planets, the sun, the moon, stars, then the Lord would cease from, having Israelites as, the nation of Israel as its chosen people. And now I'm not talking about those people that's currently in the land of Israel, which today are known as Israelis. I'm talking about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans out there. Okay, so that's why Esau is so fixated on the heavens. All right, now let me play some of this.
They have to destroy individual access. And when you hear those WTFers and, Klaus Schwab, Yuval Harari, and all their mouthpieces, Kerry, etc., talking about, your carbon footprint, you said a powerful statement. It's never left me, Mike. They're out to kill photosynthesis. They kill photosynthesis. The globalists, they kill all planetary life.
You hear that? So if they kill photosynthesis, which you get that from the sun, if Esau is able to do that, to accomplish that, then he kills all planetary life. Literally everything that depends on planet Earth to survive would not survive,
And it's not enough now to give us synthetic food. They're telling us basically we're going to drink our own urine and eat our own feces, or we're going to get to eat insects. Well, I find this interesting. Why would the globalists, who I call insectoid predators, want us to honor their relatives and eat them, okay? Of course I'm being cynical. Of course I hold them in ultimate contempt. But the fact that so few people speak up against it. I mean, I remember you could read the back of a soup can, and, it was pretty simple. Now it contains genetically modified this, that, and the other thing. Junk food, genetically altered food, is killing the human genome. And you and I talked about that. You gave two marvelous presentations at two Branson conferences over there. That's not flattery. It's just the truth. But not only do they want to kill photosynthesis, this is the genocidal, demonic maniacs seeking to destroy all humanity, in my opinion. And look at what they're doing to the children with the vaccine. Look at all the truth now.
All right. So, hey, as you heard it, he mentioned photosynthesis. If Esau is able to get rid of photosynthesis, all right, which photosynthesis is dependent upon the sun, then he's able to, destroy planetary life. Okay, so we're gonna look this word photosynthesis up. I got it pulled up. All right, so photosynthesis. It says by 1895, long translation of German photosynthesis, from photo meaning light plus synthesis or synthesis. Okay, so got to look that up. All right, so photo meaning light. Okay, synthesis, noun, 1610s, deductive reasoning, from Latin synthesis, collection, set, suit of clothes, composition, all right, of a medication. All right, now we're going to get it in Ecclesiasticus, because according to the scriptures, true medication comes from the earth, all right, from the herbs. Now, you got various different herbs, various different plants and flowers, all right, that are, a bunch of different things that are edible, that come from the earth, that are pretty much, suits in like items with like items. These flowers come from this family. These flowers come from this family. This herb is part of this family. So that's, suits, clothes, collection, from Greek, synthesis, composition, a putting together, from syntheneai, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, put together, combined, from sin, together, plus tithanai, to put, to place, okay, to set, put, a combination of parts into a whole, okay? So light put together, or light composition, Okay, light combined. Okay, light together. So pretty much photosynthesis being light that's collected. Um, it helps herbs grow. It helps all life on planet Earth. It helps it grow. Okay, and in particular with herbs and green vegetation, you have the chemical chlorophyll that's produced. The chemical chlorophyll is what gives green plants and herbs its color. Okay, and that chlorophyll is pretty much a collection of energy that's stored in the plants. It's energy from the sun that's harnessed, that the plants harness. The herbs harness, and when you consume it, that actually gives you strength, gives you power. It makes you whole. It's different things that different herbs do, but that chlorophyll is pretty much power that's harnessed from the sun that your body takes, and it does what it does. Okay, so that's why Esau is trying to block out the sun, so that way the human body pretty much just breaks down. All right. So chlorophyll, noun, green colored stuff in plants. 1819 from French chlorophylle, chlorophylle. 1818 coined by French chemist Pierre Joseph Peltier. Um, let's see. It says from Greek, koloros, pale green, green yellowish, to shine, derivatives denoting green and yellow. Phylum, a leaf. Okay, to thrive, bloom. All right, so pretty much green chlorophyll, meaning a pale green, green yellowish. All right, which plants, are various colors of green, various colors, period. But dealing with the herbs. All right, now we read this in Jeremiah. Let's get this here in Genesis 1 and 11. It says, and the power said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, like I mentioned earlier, with the suits, right? Collection, set, suits of clothes, composition. All right, so you got herbs that yield seed, and you got fruit trees that yield fruit after their kind. So you got apples is different than oranges. Oranges is different than lemons, so on and so forth. Okay. Whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. So the fruits and vegetables and things of that nature that we eat is supposed to have seeds in it. All right. It's not normal to go to the grocery market and pick up a seedless watermelon or seedless grapes or seedless oranges, seedless lemons, seedless apples. That's not normal. That's not natural. All right. Because when the Lord created, when the angels, all right, headed by Yahweh Shai, created, what we currently see in existence, dealing with vegetation and fruits and vegetables and herbs, they contained seeds in and of itself. All right, but Esau is trying to do away with that. Okay, it says, and the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit whose seed was in itself after his kind, and the powers saw that it was good. Okay, so and the evening and the morning were the third day. So when the Lord created, when the powers, the angels created, what we have today, what we see today, should I say, it contained, seeds in and of itself. Okay. Now, Genesis 9 and 1, it says, and and uh and God blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Uh, every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, all right, lawful things, all right. Even as a green herb have I given you all things, all right. So, lawful animals and the green herb is were created for us to consume, all right. But like the dude said, like the dude Steve said in this interview, they want you to eat bugs and synthetic foods. Okay, that's the direction that this world is headed toward, man. To where, man, look at the movie Soylent Green. If you haven't seen that movie Soylent Green with Charleston Heston, all right. At the end of the movie, they found out that the Soylent Green that everybody was hooked on and thought was so good was really humans. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny that this man mentioned eating. They want us to honor their ancestors, but eat them as well. It's pretty funny to me. All right. This is Psalm 104 and 14. It says, He causeth the grass to grow for the cattle, and herb for the service of man, that he may bring forth food out of the earth. Okay? So herbs is for they serve a purpose. All right, and it's for the service of man. Right? Now, let's look this word service up. Age 56. And it reads, that's Iba Da. Let's see, hold on. Yeah. Iba Da. Yeah. So Iba Da. And it says labor, service, labor, work, labor of servant or slave, labor, service of captives, of subjects, service of the Most High. So pretty much, work of any kind, act, bondage, bondservant, effect, labor, ministering, ministry, office, service, tillage, okay, use, work, wrought. So pretty much, the grass to grow for cattle and the herb for the service of man. Herbs, serve a purpose of healing and meat, food, and at the same time, a man actually has to, you got to actually go out there and till to reap the benefits of those herbs. Okay. And wine that maketh glad the heart of man, and oil to make his face to shine, and bread which strengtheneth man's heart. So all these different things listed are, some way affected by sunlight. Okay. The trees of Yahweh are full of sap, the cedars of Lebanon which he hath planted, where the birds make their nests. As for the stork, the fir tree and her house are her house. The high hills are a refuge for the wild goats, and the rocks for the conies. Okay, so all these different animals, creatures that the Lord, created, um, you know, live on planet Earth. Okay, whether it's them getting food from the earth, uh, lodging, protection from the earth, you know, uh, the sun plays a vital part in assisting, you know, all forms of life here on planet Earth, man. Okay, so if Esau was able to be successful in blotting out the sun, every aspect of life would be hindered. You know, this is Ecclesiasticus 39:26. It says the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. All these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil. Okay? So we see how Esau is using food as a weapon, whether it's splicing it with synthetic chemicals or just destroying it, period. You got to remember back when Crown Royal had really hit in 2020, 2021, you had, farmers that were destroying, a lot of their crops purposefully, all right, at the request of the government. Some of them was getting paid to destroy crops and all that to bring about a artificial famine. Okay, so that's an example of, as it says here, so to the sinners they are turned into evil. The fire, water, salt, iron, flour of wheat, honey, milk, blood of the grape, oil, clothing. Those are all things that come from the earth that, a normal person appreciates, but Esau being the devil, Esau being adverse to anything good, is gonna find some way to weaponize that against even his own self. All right, because he's just destructive by nature. Okay, but all these things are affected by sunlight. All right, this is Sirach 38:1. It says, "Honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him, for the Lord hath created him. For the Most High, for of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth." Okay, and he that is wise will not abhor them. So, the Heavenly Father, He created He created medicines out of the earth, right? So synthesis, once again, collection, set, suit of clothes, composition of a medication. Okay, so part of photosynthesis is designed, all right, to create medicines out of the earth, all right, via vegetation, via plants, via herbs. Okay, and that's the Heavenly Father that did that, all right, that gave the blueprint for the angels to create medicines out of the earth. So if you destroy or hinder sunlight from actually touching, sun rays from actually touching the earth, you're hindering those medicines from being created or produced, which is, once again, the objective that the elites is looking for. That's what they're looking to accomplish. Okay. And he that is wise will not abhor them. So once brothers, when we came into the truth, certain brothers, have backgrounds with family members and grandparents and mothers and fathers dealing with the herbs. In particular, a lot of brothers that's of the tribe of Benjamin and of the tribe of I'll say the Northern Kingdom and Levi and Benjamin. All tribes pretty much had some type of you can find remnants of that knowledge of the herbs and whatnot. But for the most part, so-called Negroes grew up, over the counter drugs, medicines, all right, synthetic medicines, being spoiled here in America, all right. But you talk to brothers that might be from Barbados or Jamaica or Trinidad and Tobago, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Haiti, all right, Cuba. You talk to brothers that families or they themselves stem from those regions. They had a knowledge of the herbs. They have a knowledge of the herbs and what can cure this and what can cure that. All right. So, Esau wants that knowledge to be long forgotten, and them, the elites, being the only ones that have, access to that information. Okay. It says, was not water made sweet with wood, that the virtue thereof might be known? And he hath given men skill that he might be honored of his marvelous works. With such doth he heal men and take away their pains. All right, with the herbs, man. Okay. It says, of such doth the apothecary make a confection, and of his work there is no end, and from him is peace over all the earth. Okay, so this confection that the apothecary puts together stems from the herbs. Okay. Once again, of a medication, composition, okay, collection. So there's various herbs that men would gather, apothecary would gather and make a confection, all right, and that would bring healing and peace to those that were sick. Okay. Continuing, this is Second Ezra 9, and this is getting into Ezra's receiving visions. Okay. Now, let me see. Second Ezra 9 and 22. It says, "Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. Nevertheless, if thou wilt cease yet 7 days more, but thou shalt not fast in them, but go into a field of flowers where no house is builded, and eat only the flowers of the field, taste no flesh, drink no wine, but eat flowers only." All right. So once again, those flowers that Ezra's ate, sunlight actually, gave those flowers, energy. Okay, so in return, Ezra's eating those flowers gave him energy. Okay, and whatever healing or the calcification or purifying that it did for Ezra's, was needed for him to receive understanding. Okay. It says, "And pray unto the highest continually, then will I come and talk with thee." All right. So I went my way into the field which is called Ardoth. like as he commanded me, and there I sat among the flowers and did eat of the herbs of the field, and the meat of the same satisfied me. Okay, so herbs, all right, fruits, vegetables, green salad. Um, if it's got the proper sunlight, it'll satisfy you as far as you it being the purpose of it being meat, you know, because you don't have to depend on protein um, all the time as far as meat, actual meat, from animals. Okay, sometimes a salad with onions and uh, things of that nature, it'll be satisfying. Okay, but this is an example of you know um, flowers being beneficial for the body that we can find in the scriptures. All right, and that's not something that Esau wants you to know of. Okay, he wants you to be heavily dependent upon going to the grocery store buying his bullshit. Second Ezra 12:48, it says, "As for me, I have not forsaken you, neither am I departed from you, but am come into this place to pray for the desolation of Zion, and that I might seek mercy for the low estate of your sanctuary. And now go your way home, every man, and after these days will I come unto you." So the people went their way into the city like as I commanded them, but I remained still in the field 7 days, as the angel commanded me, and did eat only in those days of the flowers of the field, and had my meat of the herbs. All right. So, herbs, flowers is used for the use of man. All right. Which once again, those are heavily dependent upon sunlight. Okay. Photosynthesis. And this will be my last precept. This is 2 Maccabees 5. And I'll start at verse 26. It says, "And so he slew all them that were gone to the celebrating of the Sabbath, and running through the city with weapons slew great multitudes." All right. So this was um, during the time of the Maccabees, when Antiochus, slaughtered a lot of Israelites. All right. But Judas Maccabees and those men, used wisdom, to get out of a whole bunch of different scenarios and situations. All right. Verse 27, it says, "But Judas Maccabees, with 9 others, or thereabout, withdrew himself into the wilderness, and lived in the mountains after the manner of beasts." Okay. With his company, who fed on herbs continually, lest they should be partakers of the pollution. So here it is, you got men of war that dwelt in the mountains, away from society, and fed on herbs continually. That was their food, was herbs, and that sustained them. Okay, so likewise, that should be an example to us, that uh, a diet consisting of herbs and pretty much chlorophyll rich foods is needful for our bodies, um, and not to be so heavily dependent upon just eating meat all the time, which there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes it's good to give your body a break, let your intestines, rest from constantly having to digest protein, in the form of meat. But once again, all these scriptures that I read deal with herbs, flowers, you know, given for meat. And, that wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for photosynthesis and the collection of chlorophyll in those herbs. All right. So, once again, if Esau is successful, all right, which he's not going to be, but he wants to be successful in, destroying sunlight, okay, which will affect the human body. All right. So once again, I'm gonna play this and then I'll wrap it up.
WTFers and Klaus Schwab, Yuval Harari, and all their mouthpieces, Kerry, etc., talking about your carbon footprint. You said a powerful statement. It's never left me, Mike. They're out to kill photosynthesis. They kill photosynthesis. The globalists, they kill all planetary life. And it's not enough now